Okay, let's now talk about audio and the audio part of your lectures. Audio is probably one of the most important parts of your course, and you will need to make sure to make it as best as possible, and I will show you how you can actually do it in DaVinci Resolve to make it sound as best as possible. So first things first that you will need to do is you will need to level your audio. Your audio leveling means that you'll need to make your audio a bit tighter, meaning that the loudest volumes should go a bit down and the quietest volume should go a bit up to make it a bit more leveled. And with DaVinci Resolve, you can do it pretty easily and automatically. All you need to do is just Command A, select everything basically, and then right click basically, and then click Normalize Audio Levels. When you press this one, make sure that you are selecting True Peak minus 2 decibels from True Peak and select Relative. For the ones who want to understand what this relative and independent means, is that your video is already divided into clips, and with if you select independent, it will analyze each clip independently and give it its independent volume leveling. And you don't want to do this because some clips might be way too quiet, some clips might be a bit too loud. And what the relative will do is it will select entirety of your timeline and normalize your audio based on the entire timeline. Just select normalize and just wait a bit. It might take a few seconds depending on your computer, because it is basically normalizing each and every single one of your clips. It should take around a minute or maybe less depending on the computer that you have. For me, it takes rarely more than 30 seconds unless it's very large clip. Okay, now it's done. It took around 30 seconds, and as you can see, the audio track actually changed the color a bit. It became a bit more darker green, and now when you listen to your video, it will sound a bit better. It will not sound way too loud, way too quiet. The audio level will be normalized. The next thing that we will do will be different for each and every individual lecture, because some people might do it right now, some people might do it later. I do it right now because of my workflow, and it is adding the music. And yes, you actually need to add music to make it a bit more pleasant to listen. Your clips, when you have a music on a background, your lectures are a bit more pleasant to listen, and it creates an atmosphere. And for that reason, you will need to have some kind of good music, and make sure that you will find the music that you have the right to use for. In my case, I'm using royalty-free music, and all I need to do is I will just select the music and I will just add it into a timeline. So in my case, I have already copied it, and I'll just paste it like that. Let's just go back, and you know what I do usually? I just make sure to select this clip like that and just copy and paste it till the end. Make sure that snapping is on, so it will be easier to snap like that, and just Control V it till the end, and just make sure to edit the end to the end of the course or end of the lecture itself. Then zoom in a bit, just right here. You zoom in with your scroll wheel, and then select this point right here. Just zoom in, this is the point right here, and just drag it a bit to the back. It will allow the music at the end to go a bit silently, just not abruptly end in the end, but go quieter just a bit in the end. When you turn the music on like that, you will hear, well, immediately that first music is way too loud. You can even see it through an audio picks right here. It's way too loud. It's just speaking way too much. And then when you start speaking, it's overtaking your speech. You will not be able to hear what you are saying because of the music. Now you will actually need to make music a bit quieter. And what will happen right now is me actually automating this, basically volume leveling and audio filtering. But I'm gonna show it to you right now how fast you can make this one using automating software. Well, I cannot teach you how to use this automating software, but the software is called Keyboard Maestro. It's actually macro software that will allow you to basically automate all the clicks that you will do. And after you understand how this actually done, what am I actually doing, you can actually use it for your Windows using AutoHotkey, which is a software called AutoHotkey, free software, or Keyboard Maestro on a Mac automatically. I'm going to show you how I'm doing this right now. I'm going to hit a hotkey, and you will see the magic happen right in front of your eyes. Boom, it started. It's selected to the Fairlight tab. It is selecting my Dynamics tab. Basically, it will allow you to level the sound volume then it goes to plugin presets, and that's it. As you can see, immediately when it goes to the music, volume of the music right here goes way too down and makes it hearable on the background. I'm gonna show you again from the beginning. As you can see, the music volume going up and then is going down as soon as I start speaking, which is amazing thing. And now, how I did that, you are interested in this, of course. Then, no worries, I'm gonna show you exactly what happened. So first things first, what you'll need to do is you'll need to go to the Fairlight tab right here. This is basically a sound tab. And make sure that you have this mixer turned on right here. And all I did is I adjusted a dynamics of this music. So make sure that you know exactly which audio track is your sound, or mean that your speech. In my case, it's audio 1 and music is an audio 2. So first thing that you'll need to do is you'll need to select audio 1 dynamics. You're gonna press this button right here or double click and make sure that you have this compressor on right here. Make sure this compressor is on and make sure that you have around this threshold right here. Just copy this once because this worked for me. Or if it will not work for you, you need to play with this around. I've actually done this on random. I'm not an audio expert. I did this on random until it came out the way that I want it to be. Just play with this once or copy this threshold right here, this threshold right here. You can copy the ratio right here and you can copy attack, hold, and release. Just make sure you copy all of this and make sure that for your sound, it is on. Make sure that it's on send. Send is basically which is basically a master volume. And then do exactly the same thing for this one, for your music, and make sure to copy all of those settings right here. And it will show you the graph like that, and make sure that it is on listen. Basically, this means that music track will be listening to your speech track in order to understand what volume to select. That's what it is. An overall compressor just again adds more leveling to your to your sound. Now the next thing that you will need to actually adjust is your sound. Now again, I'm not a sound expert, but all you can do is the best thing that you can do is to play with your sound, and from what I understand, the best way is to play with your EQs. So the first thing that you can do is, and the best thing that you can do is actually allow to turn on the high pass filter. For example, if you turn this on, it will make your sound more teeny, but you can play this around. Yes, with the dynamics and the multiband compressor like that, it makes my sound a bit, well, bearable. And because my room was well treated and my settings on my camera is well tweaked with all the experimentation, things like that, my sound, well, sounds not bad for the type of microphone that I'm using. And that's what you should do as well. Play around to find out what works for you and what doesn't. And the simplest thing to do to play with your sound is actually to turn on the EQ right here and play around with this one. For example, you can turn on your sound and see what will happen if you play around with these volumes like that. For example, when I'm playing around, I see like this part is actually showing a lot of resonance frequencies and it sounds very teeny, and I can push this down a bit like that, and I can make it a bit narrow. Yeah, for example, in my case, I just found out like these two frequencies are affecting my microphone a lot, and all I need to do is just select this part, basically, like let's say the number 3, and make sure the Q factor right here is to the max to make it like as narrow as possible, or it will be like way too broad. And I check it by listening to it by increasing the volume, and if I see that it sounds way too awful and like some frequencies are overtaking everything else, all I need to do is just select it and just push it down, and it will sound much better. And in the end, when you're done with this, we'll go back to the edit page and listen to this. And what I hear right now is that still the music volume is a bit way too loud, and what I will do is I will just push it down a bit right here, and for me like -7 decibel works the best. And make sure that at the end of the clip it does not sound that bad. Let's see here, we still didn't fill out this one, but let's see here. Okay, it's still a bit overtaking. As you can see, it's going to the red peaks. We don't want it to go to the red peaks. Let's go to a bit down. Let's go to -11. All ones are fine. Okay, good. Now let's go to this one and let's listen to here. Yeah, it sounds actually pretty good. And yeah, make sure that you adjust this volume like that. Make sure that you are not peaking, because the red peaks will sound awful in any earphones and any speakers. So make sure to do this. Well, do this with all your clips, and yeah, that's basically done. You're basically done with your course. And in the next lecture, we're gonna actually move on to the deliver tab and see how we can export it. See you there.